is Paula. This episode is intended for mature audiences due to the material that I'm going to be covering. I have set the video restrictions to age restricted. So if you are under the age of 18 and have landed on this video, please do click off now. As I said, my name is Paula. I am a practicing witch. I've been a witch for 15 years. I'm also a psychic medium and a paranormal investigator, and I am also a Reiki master. And today what we're going to go over is one in the series in our Defense Against the Dark series, and this is going to be on demons. And I want to start out that one of the first things that you really think of when you think about protection from evil entities or demonic influences are religious metals that pertain to your faith. One source that I have found that is excellent is the Catholic Company, and that's where I have bought several items. I've also bought some items from an online reseller from Amazon, and where I can, I will put links to items in the description box as I go through. That includes the various gemstones that I'm going to recommend. Many of the herbs you can get just right out of your kitchen, so I'm not going to bother to link them. They can be found in every grocery store. The more exotic herbs, I'm going to recommend that only magical practitioners deal with them because several of them are poisonous. So I'm not going to link them in the description box, but I will link various types of religious metals, etc., that I can find for you, like on Amazon and other sources such as the Catholic Company. The very first thing that I want to mention is a Saint Benedict cross that is made of olive wood. Now, I happen to have a I have two. Well, actually, I have three Saint Benedict crosses. This one is made of olive wood, and you can see that on the back it has a Saint Benedict Jubilee medal embedded in it. This one is the one that hangs by my front door. I have one by my bed that is made out of olive wood, and I have one that is made of rosewood. That is the other option. In my paranormal ghost hunting bag, that bag is stowed away right now in a closet, and I don't feel like going diving for that right now to do this video. So I got one of the ones that was easier to get to. Now, you can get these online, like from Amazon. I'll link one of the olive wood ones. That is where I got my olive wood ones from. But if you want a rosewood one of the best places to get it is from the Catholic Company. That is a great resource for olive wood and rosewood rosaries, for crucifixes and things of that nature, if you're, a Judeo-Christian. Another thing is to wear a Saint Benedict's Jubilee medal. Most people don't realize that Saint Benedict was the first exorcist. So that is a good choice. Also, a Saint Michael's medal. I happen to have one right here on my necklace, and it's this little gold one right here. There you go. And what is very good about this is if you take those metals to a priest and get them blessed. I have mine have been blessed. And I was very lucky to have, you know, a priest that understood what I do as a paranormal investigator. And he was a Jesuit priest, and he blessed these metals for me. Another one is the Seal of Solomon. And what this looks like is a Star of David inside of a circle, and then it's got dots all around it. Another one is a triquetra, and that is this metal right here. Let me see if I can turn. There we go. Get a little bit better at this. And this is also called a Trinity knot. And depending on what your religion is, it has different meanings. For Christians, it's, you know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. For non-Christians, it can be life, death, and rebirth. It can be, you know, maiden, mother, and crone. It can be, you know, wild one, father, and sage for the God. It can be a lot of different things. So it depends on your religion what the triquetra can mean to you. I also consecrated and blessed my triquetra for protection. There is also something called a witch's knot, which the proper term for it is a witch's quaternary. And I will try to remember and insert a picture here. Now, I also have a witch's quaternary necklace that I have blessed and consecrated. For Wiccans, something called the triple moon is also great, and because that is, you know, representative of the goddess and the protection of the goddess. Another thing for pagans is a pentacle. Most people think that pentacles are evil. They're not. The pentacle actually originated in Jewish texts, and if you take points in the tree of life, can't remember if it was in a Kabbalistic, I can't speak worth a darn, text, or if it was the Torah or the Talmud, I can't remember which one it was in. But if you take the dots in the top part of the tree of the life and you draw lines, that's where the pentacle is. So, you know, it's not pagan in origin, but it means earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. That's what a pentacle means. It's nothing evil. For those of you who practice like Egyptian magic, that you follow the Egyptian pantheon, the Eye of Horus is wonderful. A lot of you may recognize that, and I'll try and insert a picture of one right here. And also an Ankh, and that is the one that looks like a cross with a loop on the top of it. There are also various runes and sigils that, you know, if you like runes, there are runes from the Elder Futhark that are protective and warrior runes. And then there are also sigils that many witches use through magic that they, you know, can put on doorways, windows, and such as that. So those are kind of like, you know, religious metals and things that you can do. Because a lot of like the sigils and things like that, you can get done on like, you know, a dog tag and, you know, pressed in pewter and things like that. Now, the main thing is to consecrate them. Don't just, you know, slap it on. you have to actually bless them and consecrate them. That's the important thing. It's always important when you buy something to cleanse it and, just putting it in, letting it sit for a couple of days in some lavender and sage, or sage and rosemary out of your kitchen. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Do not put it in salt, because salt will eat up jewelry. Just don't do that. The safest thing is, sage and either sage and lavender or sage and rosemary out of your kitchen. So, and then you consecrate your metals for protection, for the use that you want them on. But these are very effective for warding off demonic spirits and evil spirits in general. The next thing that I want to talk about are some common herbs. Now, these are ones that you can get them out of the grocery store, and you probably already have in your kitchen. So, they're not anything that's like really exotic or anything like that. So the first one is anise. And these are the little anise pods. They're dark, they're very spicy. They have like a licorice taste to them, and they look like little stars. Okay. Basil is another one. Chamomile is another. Cayenne pepper is one. Cloves, cumin, dill, fennel, garlic, pine oil, and white sage. Like I said, a lot of this is probably already in your kitchen, and you don't have to spend a whole lot. These herbs can be used to make up sachets. You can put them in little, muslin bags, or, little organza bags, or disposable one-use tea bags that you can seal up, put them inside, or even a tea infuser, big tea infuser, put it in your bath to do a bath. You can put these herbs on the stove in a tea infuser, make a water, then add that like to mop water to, wash down walls, clean baseboards, clean your floors, and such as that. And it's extremely effective. Another thing you can do is make sachets, put them under your pillow to keep them away at night. Uncommon herbs. Now, this is not anything that most people would have. Witches, I have all of these in my store of, various herbs and everything, but some of them are poisonous. So if you have children, I would stay away. If you have pets, lock them up. The first one is mandrake, and this one is especially effective. The next one is Solomon's seal. St. John's wort is another one, and that's wort, W-O-R-T, not W-A-R-T. It's W-O-R-T. Pokeweed is one, and if you're, from the country, you know what I'm talking about. Hellebore is another. Devil's claw is another. So those are some kind of what I call uncommon or exotic herbs. Same thing. You can, use them in sachets. You can, just do not ingest these. Some of them would be safe for ingestion, like St. John's wort, because a lot of people use that for a mood stabilizer. But others like mandrake and hellebore and devil's claw and some of the others, they're poisonous. So do not ingest them under any circumstances. Resins. One is myrrh, like, from the Bible, frankincense and myrrh. Myrrh is extremely effective for exorcising demons out of a space, and so is a resin that is called copal, C-O-P-A-L. I have a frankincense, myrrh, and copal incense that I burn every once in a while in my own home to cleanse the house, just to run any kind of negative energy out of the house. And it smells wonderful too while you're burning it. The thing with resins, they burn a lot longer than, say, herbs do that you do, like your hand blended incenses. So, you know, you just get the little charcoal discs, like for a hookah, a little charcoal disc burner, or a cauldron, a little cauldron, a fire safe bowl of some kind. Light up that little charcoal disc, put a little bit of that resin on top, carry it around, and just, you know, like use that to cleanse the whole house. Woods. The two most effective woods are rosewood and olive wood, just like this. Okay. On my wrist, you will see three bracelets. This one is rosewood, and this one is olive wood. Now, both of these I got from a shop. These are both made in Jerusalem. I will try and remember to link them. The shop, they have an Amazon shop online. And I think the Catholic company has an Amazon shop online, but they have an independent website store too. But these bracelets are wonderful for keeping demonic spirits away. Crystals and gemstones. These are some of, well, they're basically all in what I call my power gemstones. Two of them are not, but, well, no, I think they're all in here. The first one is amethyst. It's a beautiful all around, you know, gemstone. I love it. The next one is black onyx. Now, a lot of people cannot wear or be around black onyx for some reason. They just don't jive with it, and it's okay. The next one is jet. We also have garnet. We have diamonds and emeralds. Diamonds and emeralds and black tourmaline are the three best at repelling demonic entities around. Bloodstone is another one that is extremely effective for repelling negative energy in general and repelling evil spirits. Labradorite is another. And the last one is peridot. Now, I can tell you that on my body right now, I have 4 of these gemstones on right now. I have peridot, amethyst, diamond, and emerald on right now. So the next thing that I want to go into is some folk magic. And this is particular to America because that's what I'm familiar with. A lot of it is what we call Southern conjure or root work or American folk magic or hoodoo. Depending on where you live, this is more prevalent in the South in America. But some folks, you know, some of this is starting to appear in other parts of our country. But primarily you'll see this stuff in the South. The first one, if you've ever gone to the South, especially to towns that have older historic homes, you will see a very particular color of blue. And it's on the ceilings of their verandas or porches. Sometimes it's used as the trim around the windows and the shutters and door paint. And this is a color called Haint, Haint blue. And this is very common in the South, in the U.S., especially in places, for instance, like Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, some of the places like that, that tend to have a lot of ghosts. So it's very common to have ceilings painted haint blue. And the other reason is because it helps repel insects. Because evidently bugs think it's like the sky and they don't come in and, you know, congregate around. So it helps with insect control also. Don't ask me why. I mean, that's what people say. I don't know if it's true or not. But it's a very, very common thing in the South, in the United States. Another thing that you can make up is something that is called tar water. Now, this comes with a caveat because one of the ingredients is extremely caustic, and you have to wear some kind of protection on your hands, either leather gloves, you know, something, not like disposable, really thin, you know, like working on a cafeteria line plastic gloves, but you need some really heavy duty gloves, plastic gloves, like, you know, living hands, Playtex living hand gloves. You need something pretty substantial, because if you get this stuff on your skin, when you're mixing it up, after it's diluted, it's okay. But if you get the raw creolina, Creolina, or it's called creolin, Creolin, and it's made out of usually a mixture. It's a creosote based cleaner, and it's usually a mixture of a peat and a pine tar. And there's two different kinds of creosote. The other type of creosote is usually, well, creosote, the other kind was kind of banned for industrial use because it is so caustic. But you can still get the disinfectant wood-based creolin to make up tar water. And you take, you know, like a bottle of, big spray bottle of water that has either, you know, if you can get a holy man, clergy to bless, use some holy water, or water that you've put out over the 3 days of a full moon. In other words, the night before, the night of, and the night after a full moon. Then that has been blessed, okay? And then you put a couple of capfuls. It doesn't take a lot. So in a great big bottle, you use like 1 to 2 capfuls of the creolin and put it in there. And you take that and you spray that around your house. Now, it will smell. You need to have well ventilated. It smells like, I don't know if you guys have ever smelled the old Lysol concentrate. That's what creolin smells like, because that's the base for the Lysol concentrate. You can buy creolina on Amazon. That's where I get mine. I'll link it in the description box. But that is, tar water is great. It's wonderful. I have a video that completely tells you how to go through and cleanse your house. You would use tar water, like to mop your floors, spray around, spray outside around the foundation, around your doors, around your windows, and things like that. It is a disinfectant. It does clean. It smells to high heaven. So if you're extremely sensitive to smell, you are going to hate that and you wouldn't be able to do it. And you need to be able to do it in a time when you can have your house open and ventilated. There are also some things that are called bottle trees. And they're usually various colored glass, usually amber, green, or cobalt glass bottles that are placed over the ends of the branches of trees. And they're usually in your front yard or by your backyard, in your backyard. And those bottles catch evil spirits before they get into your house. Now, some people, if you don't have a tree in the front yard, they construct their own bottle tree out of wood dowels or out of metal, and they work just as well. But if you see a tree that's full of bottles in the South, that's what that is. And that's Southern magic, hoodoo magic. Another thing, and this is very common even in the Northeast in the United States, and they're called witch balls. And they almost look like Christmas ornaments. They're about yay big, and you hang them in your windows. But the thing of it is they've got an indentation, and then they've got like a hollowness that goes up inside of them, where a Christmas ornament is just plain, and there's nothing, no kind of indentation in the bottom of it. But they catch any kind of hexes, curses, evil spirits, or demons before they get into the house. So that's extremely common. They're usually hand blown. They're beautiful. They can be on the expensive side. You can pay upwards of $60 to $70 for one. You can catch some, in Amazon. I can link them down below for a witch ball. But they are beautiful, and they are beautiful when they catch the light inside your home. But those are also an effective measure for protection. With that, like I said, I have other videos out on how to cleanse your house. And then you can use these methods, gemstones. You can bury them at the four corners of your house or at the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west of your property line. The witch balls, the bottle trees, the tar water, things of that nature you can do right here, right at home. Most of the ingredients that, I would recommend are probably in your kitchen. The more exotic ones, I really don't recommend unless you're a magical practitioner to even have them in your house. There's no sense to have them. If you've got any questions, please just, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter at BYOS Paranormal. I'm happy to answer your questions. Just DM me. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I have the previous video, will be linked at the end in the annotations and in the description box. And that video was on the hierarchy and a little bit of organization of demons and things of that, how to recognize a demonic possession. So with that, you guys know what I always say. Until the next time, be well and walk in love and light, everybody. Good night.